A big hand for Izzy Cartwright. Take it easy.
How's it going, everybody? So we're going to be talking a little bit about PvP here. We have my buddy Chaplin backstage. He's going to be running around the PvP map. We're going to be just talking a little bit and showing off PvP. We're just going to be showing you the map itself. And then we're going to be doing a little bit of one-on-one fighting with Tirza backstage. And so we're going to start off here. This is the red base. And we're going to run over here real slow over to the trebuchet. Now the trebuchet is a really important part of the PvP map. Now, the big thing is we have secondary objectives on all of our PvP maps, and they have a really important part to play. And the biggest part to play here is destructible terrain. This one will blow up huge parts of the map, and as you can see here, we just blew up the clock tower. And what that'll do is that'll open up pathways all over the map, change up the fightable terrain on the map, allow you to fight in different areas, blow up places that people can scout on. You can blow up pipes, you can blow up buildings, you can change pathways, you can blow up your enemies, you can do all sorts of different things. You can have an enemy come over and kill your trebuchet, and then you're going to have to go get a part and repair it. This is kind of the big part of the secondary objective on this map, is controlling and defending your trebuchet. And so that's kind of the main mechanic on this map. It also acts as an ability to stop someone from being defensive. If someone starts turtling up at the points, trying to be super defensive, you can use a trebuchet to blow them out of the points, knock them over, and support your allies. And so the trebuchet becomes a really important part of this map. It makes it so that you can open up pathways, you can move the terrain, decimate the whole map, do everything you want. And so Chaplin's moved on to the windmill. This is the red side point. The windmill and the mansion are both kind of mirrors of each other. They're kind of the home point to each side. They're kind of close to the spawn, and they make it really easy for each side to come right out of their base and cap a point. Near each of those points is a really easily accessible, and there's kind of a few crates around those points. You can fight around them. It's really easy to bounce around, and it's a nice open area for you to fight. And then there's many ways to get into that place. You can run up the pipe. You can run through the middle. There's all sorts of ways and access to that point. And you can blow some of those up with the trebuchet. We're going to move on to the clock tower. The clock tower is kind of an internal place to fight. It gives you a lot of protection. It's hard to see that there's people in the clock tower, and it's a lot harder to hit with the trebuchet. It's going to take at least one hit to blow up the walls, and then once it takes some real skilled shots with the trebuchet to land them inside the clock tower. Once you're inside the clock tower, people from inside or out can break the windows. When the windows are broken, you can go in and out of the clock tower with skills that can teleport you or jump, or you can jump up and down on the boxes. From the outside of the clock tower, you can see almost the whole map, and so it becomes a real good scouting position. And then you can also jump off the clock tower to kind of make quick maneuverabilities all over the map. So it kind of acts as a central location for the whole map, allowing it to be a really powerful point to control. And so through these kind of 3 points, there acts a lot of strategic advantage on this map. We've seen a lot of different strategies in this map. People will take 4 or 5 players and push around the points and create a lot of really powerful tactics of holding one point and making really power fights. Or players will split up and attack all the objectives on the map, killing the catapults, controlling the enemies all over, collapsing, and pushing the objectives at all different points. And a lot of these different tactics really open the depth of the tactics on this map. And so now we're going to see a little bit of fighting between Tirza and Chaplin. Chaplin's set up as a guardian here. Guardians' kind of special ability is they have virtues. Virtues have passive abilities and active abilities. The passive abilities give them a lot of bonuses just while they're standing around unused. The active abilities give them those same bonuses but magnified, and they also give it to all of their allies around. And so you can use these in multiple ways to kind of double up on your powers, or you can use them to support your allies. So you can kind of blow all of your abilities for maximum offense or to protect yourself and your allies. It really gives the duality to the Guardian and allowing him to push the offense when he needs. The combos that a Chaplin's using right now is the sword and shield. It really allows him for some mobility, and then in his offhand set, he's got a scepter and a focus. It's a really powerful combo, one of the more offensive combos for the Guardian. It allows him to use the focus to set up a blocking shield, and then he wraps his enemies up in a chain, swaps over to his sword, teleports in, and unleashes a powerful attack. This spike is really hard to deal with and really powerful, and as you can see, Tirza fell quick to it. And so one of these things is, the big cool thing about Guild Wars is you can really build your characters in a lot of different ways. You could build the Guardian to be a very kind of defensive support character. You could bring a staff, you could run around, support your allies, remove conditions, put walls down, really protect people. You can also build the Guardian as an offensive character like Chaplain did here. You could build the character as a very tanky character. You could take mace and shield, and you can take the hammer, put up wards, knock players back, stun characters, do lots of different things like that. Really kind of one of the goals that we're trying to do at Guild Wars is have all the characters have the ability to build lots of different builds and really have a lot of diversity in the things that you can do. Now the Ranger has a lot of things that we've been playing around with. One of the things that he does really well is he's got a lot of range. He can do a really powerful ranged attacks. His pet can do a lot of damage, keeping you at distance. And one of the cool things about the Ranger is once you get him down, he can use his pet to resurrect himself. And so you have to finish a Ranger off. Downed mechanic is really important in PvP. If you do not finish a character off, he can get back up. An ally can come up and resurrect him just by getting up to him and using the interact key, which is bound to F. If you use the interact key, you'll start resurrecting your allies. If you use the interact key on an enemy, you will use the finishing move, which will instantly finish someone in the down skill and knock them off. It has a long attack skill, and so you got to be really strategic about when you use it, because if there's a lot of enemies attacking you, you will die while doing it. You can also be interrupted, and a lot of the down skills play off this. They'll try to interrupt you, or they'll make yourself invisible to try to avoid getting finished off. And so there's a lot of play to when you go down. And so there's a lot of kind of back and forth and when you go down, when you're going to stomp someone, or when you're going to resurrect people. And so there's definitely not the end of your character when you go into a down state. You really got to think about it. Another big thing is how fast you can kind of recover and change the battlefield. Just because you're down in points doesn't mean you're out. There's a lot of mechanics to the capture points. If you get up to a capture point, you can neutralize it really, really fast. This strategy allows you could quickly neutralize all the points, stop the amount of points that everyone's taking. The first team that gets to 500 points wins. And so there's a lot of strategies that evolve around quickly neutralizing all the points so that you can make a quick turnaround. And so a lot of the things about PvP is utilizing a lot of these tools, whether it be the trebuchet, whether it be the down mechanics, whether it be running around as a group, whether it be splitting, whether it be using the scouting of this on top of the clock tower, destructible terrain. There's a lot of ways to play the game, and it's really kind of up to the player to choose how he's going to use these tools in PvP and overcome his opponents. And so as you can see, PvP is really dynamic, has a lot of different pieces to it. And so, I encourage you, go down to the ESL booth, down in the back right-hand corner of this hall, play it. Even though the line will be long there, the games are really fast. Our games are about 10 minutes long, and so we can get people in and out really, really quickly. It's one of the big goals that we have at PvP is that it's a fun, fast, quick game. And so, I really encourage you guys to come down, play some PvP at our PvP booth, and give it a try out for yourself, because nothing's like the true experience. And so I want everyone to thank Chaplain and Tirza, run around showing you off some PvP map, and everyone back home for putting all this stuff together.